Okay, welcome back to my YouTube live stream. So today's topic is going to be covering the topic of not taking the bait. So by bait, it's actually a term to describe a manipulative tactic. In the recent video, if you guys already watched it, I was talking about how people from your past are going to try to creep their way back into your present because they're seeing how anointed you are, how favored you are by the Most High. They are able to see that. The devil is able to see that you are very close towards your breakthrough, that you are abundant with your energy, with your high, loving, beautiful, light energy, your love and light. So you're at a very high level spiritually. And so don't take the bait. There's going to be people who you finally went your separate ways, who things just didn't go well with them, and there was a lot of clashing, there was a lot of back and forth with that same person. They would come in and out of your life over and over again, same old story. Nothing would end well. It was always ending in that dead end. It was a dead relationship. You weren't able to spiritually pour into that person. That person that you were with wasn't able to spiritually pour into you as much as you were pouring into them. And sometimes, certain people are going to be placed so we can show them how they have to become a better person, so we can be the example of what it means to be a loving person, what love really feels like, and to teach them a lesson. So we either come into their life to bless them, and they end up rejecting that blessing, they end up mistreating that blessing, abusing that blessing, and acting treacherous towards you when you don't deserve it, when you've done nothing wrong, you've done nothing to deserve that type of those type of behaviors, actions, words that the enemy tries to throw at you, the obstacles that the enemy throws your way in spiritual warfare. So these certain people were brought by the enemy. It was clear to see, clear as daylight, to see that these people were on assignment to cause some sort of disbalance in your life, to wreak havoc in a certain area of your life. And like we say, first we have to seek the kingdom of God. Make sure that every single area we're seeking the kingdom of God. We're building our life through the Most High. And these people brought confusion. Whoever it was, it could have been a counterfeit friendship. Someone that would throw on this show that they were for you, that they like you. They smiled in your face. They gave you the Judas kiss, right? They future faked and treated you so well. It was all an act because they saw your value. They saw how high your value was, and they wanted to diminish that value. They wanted to take from your value, and they wanted to leave you feeling miserable, feeling stuck, feeling downtrodden. So that's the only reason why they were smiling, and they were on assignment, and they had their little hidden agenda behind their back. They had their hand hidden. What their real intent was. They had ill intent towards you, and you had nothing but pure intentions. You had nothing but you brought your true self, your authentic self to the table, and they brought different. They had a selfish agenda that they brought. They had a mask on, right? They put that mask on, smiled, pretended to be for you, um, falsely flattered you, falsely made you feel good. But they were using half lies, and a half lie is still a lie. It's still deception, because they were lying about the way that they truly felt about you, and they were half lies because their words sounded like the truth, but they were a lie. And no matter what, it's all it's all from the darkness. It's a lie. The devil's a liar. So he sends his little minions to do the same exact thing. They have the same characteristics, the same character as the devil. Oh yeah. And the same tricks. The deception and the temptation and them preying on your desires, your wants, your emotional needs, trying to pretend like they are going to fulfill every area. And God had to literally show you, reveal to you very quickly, show you exactly, reveal what kind of spirit you're dealing with, reveal what kind of dark spirit demon that you're coming across, that this person is disguised as an angel when in reality they're nothing but a demon. So he had to show you, and now you saw the person for who they really were. You saw how they really felt about you. You saw how when you ended things, they got angry, they got furious because they couldn't destroy you, because they hate the fact that they weren't able to destroy you. And you continue to rise, you continue to get right back up, and you don't look like what you've been through. Many of us don't look like what we've been through. We still smile, we still laugh, we still love. We don't let the enemy to change our hearts, because our spirit, our soul belongs to the Most High. We're not going to put our hands in mankind. We're going to put our faith, we're going to submit our life to the Holy Spirit, to life, not to death. And so once God just, he revealed to you who's for you and who's not for you. And sometimes everyone that you were around was a snake. Most of the people around you were snakes. And, as chosen ones, you're rare. Your vision, the way you are, you're different. You're not of this world. So you're going to come across a lot of worldly people, a lot of people who are only fleshly driven, and they're going to see you as a way to use you to get over on you, to get something, to try to step up towards your plate. And that's why they want to come around you. So we got to be very aware of the type of people that we allow. So they see you putting in that work. They see you putting in that work for the Most High. And they know that you're fruitful. Oh yes, we're very fruitful. We're very fruitful in the spirit. We're very fruitful in our spirit. We have inner richness. We got that anointing. We got that bright, just magnetic light energy that is so powerful that we step into rooms and that energy just flows into the whole entire atmosphere. That frequency, just every single person gets to feel that energy. You bless every single person with the Holy Spirit. God is he's using you as his vessel. And so they're going to be demons who become obsessed, but not because they value you, but because they're obsessed towards harming you, towards hindering, towards blocking your blessing. And they're being used as a vessel for the kingdom of darkness. The devil is working through them, and they don't go a day in and day out obsessing over the chosen ones, over the light beings, because they're so dependent on fueling themselves through our energy, but using it for evil. So we can't take their bait anymore. Oh no, Game over for them. We gotta see exactly how they move. With their little tricks, they all have the same tricks. They just change it up a little bit. We got the victim, the demon that loves to play victim. That's the Jezebel spirit. Poor me. Everything is always bad. The energy vampires, just constantly dumping their negative energy onto you, projecting all that baggage onto you. God calls us towards raising higher towards our calling. Since our calling is higher, we have to be higher, and to much is given, much is required, which means that we got to be very use wisdom, use our wisdom to know exactly what we need to do. We can't be hanging around certain people because our calling is higher. We can't be around certain environments that we used to go to back in the day, being around certain people who all they do is negatively gossip. The devil works through gossip. We all know that gossiping, there's a lot of lies being said, there's a lot of negativity. Gossiping leads nothing but towards death. That's, they speak a lot of blasphemy against other people. They just slander people. We can't be around that anymore. Those type of energies. We learned our lesson. And so what's going to happen is why we can't take the bait. Our past is going to creep up back again. Or it's going to see if is the past going to repeat itself again? Did we learn exactly everything that we needed to learn throughout this entire journey that we've already gone through? Our past is so behind us, you guys. The past comes back to haunt you. The devil tries to remind you of your past, to keep you thinking of the times that you made mistakes, the things that you did in your past that you weren't so proud of. But God doesn't care about that, because he knows that everything that you did, you learned something and you became a better individual. You learned through those hard lessons. You overcame whatever it was that you were struggling with. You're no longer that same person. No one can use that against you. So that's where the bait comes in. They're gonna try to bait you. Bait you because you used to fall very easily for their empty words, for their sweet talk. You used to fall very easily. Once they started sweet talking, you were like, oh, really? You are going to be there for me? Now it's a whole different story. The game changed. You're not playing into that game anymore, because you know that you have a lot more to lose than they do. They don't have nothing to lose. They're miserable already. They got nothing going for themselves. They're in that state of stagnation. You got so much to lose, and you got so much more work to do that you cannot afford. You cannot just put your whole entire purpose on the line for a demon to just come in and take that. You're much more wise than that. We know that. So you got to work with that spirit of wisdom. That wisdom is from the experiences that you've gone through. You gain that wisdom from every single hardship, every single battle that you had to face. You've acquired so much wisdom. You need to use that wisdom now. Put it into practice. Execute that wisdom. And don't take the bait from anyone again. Don't let them use your strength for weakness, your kindness, your generosity. If they're not appreciating it, if they're treating you like you're nothing, then don't give them nothing. We don't need to prove ourselves to no one. They know exactly who we are. We got nothing to prove. We got nothing to beg. We will not beg when God has a whole entire blessing for us. We're the blessing. We need to act like that. We need to value ourselves. The Bible even says, honor yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, look after yourself. Don't allow your heart to be easily deceived. Your heart is very deceptive. Don't allow your emotions to take over you. When you have a wisdom, logical ability to know what God is trying to warn you before destruction takes place in your life. We have no more time for foolishness. To entertain foolishness in our life. We got to stay focused, okay? All right. Now, I have my notes here about baiting, because there's different forms of baiting. And if you guys have ever encountered, I'm sure we all have, as children of the Most High, as God's children, we've all have gone through and experienced a Jezebel spirit throughout our journeys. A Jezebel spirit is a very demonic spirit. They're demonically possessed by several demonic entities that take over their vessel. Most of them are very unaware that they are under demonic influence, under demonic possession. Okay? So a narcissist is very seducing. It's a seducing spirit. They're counterfeits. They present themselves as everything you've ever wanted. They come disguised as an angel of light. And they come to try to bait you off your path. They're blessing blockers. And they kill, steal, and destroy. They do all sorts of things in your life. So, if you ever had to go no contact, just leave that Jezebel spirit in your past, because you know that that's God's battle. There's only so much you could have done to change. You can't change, to just plant seeds in their life, right? You already planted your seed in all other people's life as well. You planted seeds of love, of hope, of care, and nurturance. And so the Jezebel spirit does not forget someone who has been so forgiving, who has supplied them, has fueled them for such a long time. But they're selfish. They're lovers of themselves. Okay? They're lovers of themselves. They're only looking out for themselves. And they see you as their prize. And so if you left the narcissist will definitely try to come back to test you, to see if you learned that very life hard lesson that you've gone through, that you healed and recovered from, and you got your strength back, and you were able to finally know yourself and know how valuable you are and know whose you are. You're God's. You're not the narcissist. You know, the narcissist comes to try to take away your soul, you know, leave you spiritually dead. So, and spiritually blind you as well with trying to pull you into their dark world, their perception, their own inner darkness. They want to pull you into hell with them. That's how it feels if you ever gone through narcissistic abuse. So the narcissist will definitely try. Oh, they will never forget about any of their supplies, especially when it's grade A supply. When you're an empath, you're highly sensitive, you're highly loving, you got a good heart, you have a good spirit. But we have to learn how to be set apart and not walk amongst the ones who are heading towards the broader road of destruction. And so, narcissists will try to hoover you, will come to find you, try to sneak their way into your life somehow. You know, a narcissist could be anyone from a family member, from a parent, an old friend. They were never friends, but a frenemy, and a stranger even, you know? So if the hoovering is unsuccessful, they're not able, you finally set clear, I'm setting these strong, firm boundaries. You went no contact. We're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to have any access. I closed the door. Close the door. You close that demonic portal. You close it. You don't reopen it. Oh, no, no, no. You keep that door very shut. And you put all the locks on there to protect that Holy Spirit of yours from being drained. And so if the hoovering doesn't work, the narcissist does a fake apology, does the whole smear campaign to try to get you back, just talking a bunch of lies to smear you, has a bunch of flying monkeys. And the narcissist tries to come back because the narcissist wants to have access to you, to have that energy so they can harvest it. And they're empty. They're an empty vessel. So no matter how much you pour into them, they're never going to be fulfilled and satisfied. So if the hoovering is unsuccessful, you don't fall for their empty words. You don't fall for their false promises, their compliments, their flattery, their excessive flattery, and their false facade. And you don't give them positive supply. They'll try to bait you. And baiting is another manipulative tactic that liars, manipulators, narcissists, and just toxic people like to use. They like to bait you. And since they can't destroy you by gaining access to your life, they're going to want to try to bait you into making you appear like a bad person, because good is seen as bad and evil is good. It's all the devil manipulates and misconstrues and corrupts goodness. So it's a form of trying to frame you through manipulation, to try to provoke and induce a very strong emotional reaction out of you, just to distract you, just to start something to get your energy all over the place, just because theirs is all over the place and they're miserable. So they want you to feel just as miserable. So they only come around to try to hinder you. So baiting is the narcissist's deliberate act of provoking emotional reactions to confirm their power over you and that they still have some sort of control in your life. The pathological narcissist intentionally triggers you for negative supply. Baiting can be anything to get your attention or get you to trust them. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so they'll also bait you with the future faking. You know, we're going to be such good friends, and we're going to be going out on trips next month or in the next 2 months, and it's all a lie. Or they have empty words like, I'm always going to be there for you. You know, I've always cared about you. But don't you remember the good times that we've had? Remember all the times that, we were laughing and just having such a good time? And they leave out all the times that they did you wrong, that they did you dirty, that they betrayed you and spoke so bad about you behind your back. They take out all of that, but they want to bait you with the good memories to try to, you know, bombard you with all the good times that you guys had. But they don't take accountability. They still want to try to bait you to see if you're going to fall for it again, so they can continue to use you. And they'll do gift giving as well. So they'll give you a gift card. They'll ask you for a favor. They'll love bomb you. They'll tell you, "Oh, do you need anything? Um, can I take out your trash for you? Can I do this? Um, would you like to join me for dinner? Would you like a slice of my pie? Would you like anything from the restaurant that I'm about to go to? I'll get you whatever you want." But they have nothing is for free when it comes to baiting. It's a way to trap you. It's entrapment. It's a form of entrapment to get you right where they want you, and so they can say, I got you. You fell for it. It's working. I'm doing just fine. I got you deceived. You really think that I really am going to keep my word. For these demons, nothing is free for them. No, they don't give anything just for free. It comes with a high price. And most of that time, it's your energy that they want for themselves. So you're going to see very quickly that once they got you, it's going to go from idealization to devaluation very quickly. Ooh, that mask is not going to last. Those good times aren't going to last a lot. Oh, they're not going to last very long. Because they can only fake it for so long until their true intentions start to just reveal itself by them not even knowing, but that mask is just gonna fall off because there's only so long so you can, keep a front of something that you're not. So their mask starts to slip. It starts to slip. And they go from idealizing to devaluing you. But the beginning, the first person that you met, that was their representative. That was the person that they needed to sell you that person. They wanted to sell you the idea of that person. Or they even mirrored you back. So you were only seeing a reflection of who you were, and you were falling in love with yourself, with all your positive high qualities, because they pretended that they had the same exact strong personality qualities that you have. Kingdom principles, yes, righteousness as well. And so they switch from idealize to devalue, sweet to mean. to get that emotional reaction and negative supply out of you. Now they're going to get this trauma bond once they bait you to get you hooked. So you can be codependent, dependent on them. Because now they gave you so much towards the beginning. And you're like, what happened? You know? I just got scammed. It's like those trips. They're like, oh, you just won tickets to Hawaii. And you're gonna go to the most fanciest 5-star rating resort. And once you get there, it's a scam. It's low quality. It's nothing like what they painted it out to be. So that you got baited into purchasing a trip to get a nightmare. And they try so hard to get you to buy whatever it is that they're trying to sell you. They're con artists. Con artists. And so they're very persistent to get what they want. And you're going to notice that when they try to bait you, you're going to be like, what's the rush? Like, why are you so desperate? You know, you're already calling me your friend, and we haven't even spoken to in years. We haven't spoken to each other for years. And why are you calling me your friend? Or you know, if a friend, it builds over time. You have to build that trust in order to gain that label of a friend. So they're trying to bait you very quickly, trying to get you. Okay? So once their mask just slips, this is where the provocation comes in hand to get you to emotionally react. Now they're going to rely on you for their supply, for the energy, for their fuel. And, you know, they're going to want to project onto you. Now here comes the projection, the lies of the devil, just trying to plant seeds of negativity, of doubt, of you're not good enough, and all this. You guys, we need to be very careful with people who try to bait us for these reasons. And I'm going to go into detail on the ways that they bait us, because there's several different ways. And this topic is also related to narcissists, because this is exactly their little agenda that they play, their game that they try to play on you. So now they're going to rely on you for their supply. They're going to try to paint you out to be something that you're not. The devil likes to corrupt. Child of God. Oh yeah. So, baiting is also a way to see how you react to certain things that these demons try to do. So they'll bait you by being nice to see how you respond. If you end up trusting them very, very, very quickly, too soon, or they're gonna bait you to see if you respond to to them bringing up things from your past, to them bringing up things that no longer are relevant to who you are today. They're going to try to trigger you with things that they used to make fun of you, that you used to really get irritated by. Things that they know, that they studied you to see what your weaknesses are, and try to use that to bait you so they can get that energy, what they want from you at that moment. This is part of spiritual warfare. We can't take the bait from these people. We have to know that it's a distraction and that they're trying to spiritually attack us when they want to bait us into an argument, into a icky situation that we have no business even partaking. We're too good for that, to fall for that, to fall for their level. We can't lower ourselves to their level when they bait us, because that's what they want to do. Oh yes, they want us to be exactly how they are. The pigs love to be in filth. Don't cast your pearls before swine when you see this, okay? So they're gonna be persistent to try to provoke you to engage with them, either positively or negatively. And they're going to rely on you to play their role, that they expect you to play. This is a selfish agenda, okay? You begin to defend yourself. You begin to get defensive because of what they're saying. And they want to use the way that you're reacting to demonstrate the story that they painted you out to be, to use against you, to smear you in a smear campaign. So, I've dealt with countless of narcissists, of Jezebel spirits. And one thing that they'll do as a targeted individual, there's a whole group of people, and the Jezebel spirit will try to bait you in front of that group of people that are present, and they'll say something that they know that it will get under your skin. They know that it'll put you on the defense, and they want to try to make a fool out of you. They want to try to make you look bad. You're righteous. You're holy. You're walking that righteous path. You're living the right way. And they're going to want to try to get you to get out of character, to go back into the person that you no longer are, to see if they could still try to use past wounds to injure you, to harm you, to hurt you emotionally, to embarrass you as well. So what they'll do is that if you end up reacting, or you end up trying to defend yourself, they're gonna try to make a big scene about it. See, look at that behavior. See how emotionally unstable they are? They get angry really easy. So they're antagonizing you. Oh, yeah. Demons have tormenting spirits on them. People have tormenting spirits on them. And so their demons torment them. They're constantly being tormented. That's why they're in the state of misery. And that spirit, since it torments them, it's going to want to go out and torment other people as well. People that aren't being tormented. And those spirits go after God's children, because they don't have what do you call it? Any demonic spirit. So they're going to be trying to attack your vessel. And so they're going to antagonize you. That's how they are. They love to try to antagonize us any chance that they can get, by being overt nasty to us, such as shaming us, mocking us, laughing at us. You see those gangstalkers who constantly just laugh any chance that they get when we're out and about, just going outside for a walk, going to a store, or eating at a restaurant. You just hear people laughing. It's part of the indirect harassment, indirect communication to harass. That's how these low vibrational demons are. And it's a bait. It's to bait you. So they're going to want to shame you by using something from your past, something that is an insecurity of yours, or anything any flaw that they can possibly try to use against you. And they're going to be, oh, one time this happened to me, and using your storyline to bait you. Humiliation, taunting, ridiculing, minimizing, and dismissing. So, they love to tease, they love to talk to you in a condescending, patronizing tone to bait you. Oh, yes. Try to act like you're foolish, that you don't know who they are, supposedly, but they want you to take that bait. We don't need to waste our time. We don't need to prove ourselves and none of that. So they'll try to tease you, treat you like you're less than, pretend that they think you are foolish, even become verbally abusive towards you, call you out of your name. They'll nitpick any chance that they can get. Oh yeah, they'll try to study you and put tabs on you and to see when you make a minor mistake, when you accidentally slip up, because we're not perfect. No one's perfect. Every person makes errors and learns throughout their life. We're all flawed. We all have shortcomings here and there. But these demons love to use that and just nitpick and try to make you look like you're the worst. So this is a form of baiting. And how you talk, what you do, belittle you, talk down on you. They'll tell you things like, you're so difficult, you're passive aggressive for not responding to me. I'm talking to you. Can you hear me? I'm talking to you. They're baiting you. They want you to engage. They want that energy from yours. So they'll say things like, you're being so unkind, you're such a bad person, just to bait you. You guys, they're just foolish. So these are the phrases that they use, and they throw that's what they throw, projective jabs at you. So projective jibs includes, this is very true, you guys. This is part of the slandering, the smear campaign, and to make you defend yourself against their lies. Because when you start, your anointing, it's so high, you're super blessed, you're going to have small-minded people talking about you. You're going to have small-minded people making lies about you. But you're the one with the vision. You have a great mind. Great minds do not talk about other people. Do not spend time talking about things that are not going to actually be fruitful. So you're going to have people who see you doing well in your life. You're taking the right steps towards salvation. You're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. And you're on track. And these demons are going to throw out projective jibs. So this is part of the slandering. So seemingly random and unfounded throwing accusations, false accusations your way. But instead, they're revealing themselves to you. So, they'll say things like, you're on drugs, you sleep around, you're obsessed with me, you're a liar, you're so selfish. All these things describe them, but they're going to want you to think of yourself that way when you're not. You're none of these things that they've just said about you. Just to bait you. So the best solution here to do is to disengage from the problem. They're the problem. And they're the ones creating problems unnecessarily. And so the best thing that you can do is not take their bait and disengage with them. Let them talk. This is what narcissistic people do. Exactly, narcissistic people love to lie and gaslight. So they'll try to bait you. So, I've had several times where I've done my YouTube channel, and I have these demons just screaming, "You're lying! She's lying!" Just to bait me to react, to respond to them. So disengage with the problem. Refuse to play the game. You can say something like, "That's really nice of you," to call them out on what they're saying. Expose them. Because their words are nothing but wicked. They're lies. All right. Another form of baiting is through facial expressions. Facial expressions is another form of baiting. So they'll try to look at you like that, they'll give you certain stares to just get your energy all riled up, to get you to have anxiety, or to feel unsettled with their baiting, with their facial expressions. The best thing to do is keep your composure and keep your emotions balanced. Don't let them to get you out of that state that you're in, that energetic state that you're in. Let them look at you however they want. That has nothing to do with you. Okay. Yeah, that's the body language. Ever see a narc just keep shrugging their shoulders like they're laughing, no sound with their back to you? Yeah, it's a form of baiting. And another form of baiting is also just staring at you, just going like, to make you feel uncomfortable. Oh, they love to do certain things like that. To make you focus on whatever you were focused on, whatever you were doing at that moment. To disrupt you. They constant disruptions. But don't lose sight of what's important. And continue to do what it was that you were doing. They stare at you all the time to shake you, so you lose focus. It's frightening. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. And then they want to try to make you look bad. Because then they're going to be like, what? I didn't do anything. They're going to gaslight you, you guys. Then comes in the gaslighting. I didn't do anything. I don't know why that person's reacting so so emotional towards me. I didn't do anything. So they enjoy trying to make you look bad. Okay? Now, this one is so relatable. This other form of baiting, we've all have experienced this form of baiting. This one is the most relatable one out of all. Are you guys ready? So they'll try to get other people to join them. Their crowd. They love to be in crowds. That just shows how weak they are. They feel strong in packs, right? And so they're like bullies. They're like little schoolyard bullies who get a whole bunch of people in. And, they want to antagonize you. They want to make you look like you're the worst. And so they're going to say things like, you see what I have to deal with? Do you see what I have to put up with? It's another phrase. See, look how they did that. See, look how they reacted. You see? You see what I mean? Did you notice that? So they're baiting you, they're testing you in those moments. You see how I'm not the problem? They're setting a stage. They're setting a stage expecting you to perform your lines the way that they've envisioned it to happen. So think about what they are trying to get you to do, anticipate it, and make sure that you do not do it. Make sure that you don't fall into their little game, their show. Don't do whatever it is that you know that they're expecting you to do. Don't feed that beast. Don't feed that beast's belly. Don't give them what they want. You know the truth. And you know that what they're saying is meaningless and holds no value. And it has nothing to do with your life. So it'll allow them to feel powerful, to gain dominance in front of others. The narcissist is the unfortunate one for having to be with someone like you. They'll say things in front of others, talk about your personal information, try to embarrass you with your secrets, and use public humiliation. And if you were to respond emotionally, they would say that you were overreacting, that it was just a joke, that you can't take a joke. And they would just sit there being calm, and they would just stay calm and just looking at you and just being, wow, look at that. Look at how they're reacting. So, another form that they do is by criticizing you, heavily criticizing you, trying to make you feel that you can't do anything right when you're absolutely doing nothing wrong. Let's say you put a cup in a cabinet and that demon gets mad because of the way that you put it in the cabinet. You didn't do anything wrong, right? But He's gonna try to make a problem out of nothing. Oh, that cup was, you put it on the other side. It was supposed to be over here. So they're gonna criticize you for any tiny little thing to bait you into a whole entire dispute. They'll say hurtful things about things that are sacred to you, that are valuable to you, that are important to you. Your family, your friends, they'll belittle you. But they know exactly what to say to get you to react. Don't do what they say, do what God says. Exactly. So, let's see. To get you to react. And the reason, another form of baiting that they'll use is, I'm gonna call the police on you. You know, they'll get law enforcement in. When they were the ones baiting you, harassing you, they're quickly going to resort towards saying, I'm gonna call the police on you. It's intimidation and outright threats that they'll throw out, and efforts to keep you compliant. Okay. False accusations. All right, the next form of baiting is induced conversation. It's another form of baiting, you guys. This is so relatable to so many of us targeted individuals who we get asked questions by these random gang stalkers that come our way, that try to engage with us and try to just ask us very intrusive questions. So they'll say things like, why do you do that? Why do you always do that? Why are you like that? Are you okay? Are you okay? Asking questions to make you think that something is wrong with you. Also, asking questions to make you think that they are very interested in your emotional well-being. It's a form of baiting. You know, they have that undertone in the way that they say certain things. They have that undertone. You're gonna, that frequency, that when they speak, when they say it, you're gonna feel that energy, that disingenuousness, that sarcasm undertone. So they're gonna ask numerous questions. You know, or just ask questions that make no sense. So yeah, baiting is a provocative act used to solicit an angry, aggressive, or emotional response, using vulnerable information to elicit that emotional response, to see how you react to the baiting. If you're gonna, to see if they can inflict sadness, harm, anger, frustration, to make you look stupid and crazy. Yeah. So the whole intent is to cause harm, to hurt you, to feed off of your your emotions, your energy, and to watch your reaction. Okay? All right, so that's all I have for um for the baiting. So now let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about solutions on how to not fall for the baiting. Now, first and foremost, we want to know when it's happening. We have to know that we are responsible for our own reaction towards things. Gray rock, great. Yeah, gray rock is a great tactic to use against baiting. It means that you're going to be as emotionless. You're not going to show much of a reaction. You're going to be indifferent towards what they're saying. Kind of just be careless. You're careless. You detach yourself. Gray rocking is a non-emotional response towards the predator who's trying to trap you. So gray rocking is you're going to just, when you're around them, you're not going to show any emotions. You're just going to be very stone, with a stone reaction. So like a rock, you see a rock, there's just like, like you're not really giving them much to use. You're not giving them the ammunition, the energy that they need in order to further their game. You're stopping them right there, and you're gonna make them look like the fool, because then they're gonna be like, oh, it didn't work. Oh You see, you're not gonna give them much of anything, or sometimes not even nothing at all. Yeah, you give them no emotions, just indifference. Yes, very short answers using logic only. And they're gonna amp their tactics more, because they're trying to test you to see, okay, well that didn't work, so let's add a lot more now. They're gonna try to step it up a few notches. You have to continue to gray rock them. And eventually they'll get the point and they'll leave. Because you're not really giving them anything. You're not giving them the reaction that they need in order to get a reward from you. You have to kind of be the outside observer. Just observe everything, like you're in the audience just watching. That's how it'll definitely work. Act like you're in the audience just watching them perform the show for you. And you're just sitting there eating your popcorn, just enjoying with your soda. That's a great way to envision the act that they're trying to pull on you, to bait you. Because they have it very calculated. They have it very calculated. So be the observer and just kind of look at them like, wow. Or laugh. You could laugh too. You could be like, oh, that's funny. Be sarcastic. Throw a little humor in there to knock them off balance. Gives them the opposite reaction of what they were expecting. Laughing. Like being, oh, okay, that's all right. Yeah, that was funny. Okay. Not really not really caring much. And know who it's coming from. Always know who it's coming from. If you know that this person's got some spirits on them, some dark energy, they're trying to give you that dark energy, just return to sender. I don't want that energy on me. Oh no. I'm good. And walk away. Walk away when they're trying to bait you. Don't engage with them. You know, when they're trying to start an argument with you, you don't have to stay there. You're under no obligation to stand there and tolerate them um manipulating you, abusing you, tormenting you. Just walk away, leave out of that environment, out of that place around them. You know, and sometimes the best response is no response. Just ignore them. Just completely ignore them. You know, you don't have to engage with them. Why? Because they're not engaging with you in a healthy, communicative manner. They're doing it very covertly. That's not something you want to be a part of. That's not something you want to interact with. Someone who does that. You don't want to interact with someone like that. You can clearly see that they are trying to start something, to blow it up, to a fight, to an argument, to get you to react strongly towards their behavior, so they can sit back and play the victim, and now other people can look at you and be like, wow, like that was uncalled for. Thank you for the contribution, these styles. So yeah, the narcissist, Jezebel spirits. There's a lot of Jezebel spirits. Oh, you guys, we gotta know how to deal with Jezebel spirits. There's so many people who are so, you know, they live off of validation, after attention. So they need that attention. You know, they need to act foolish so you can look at them and give them attention so they can feel like they're winning. You know, don't let them win at their game. Don't even play their game. No, Jezebel spirits live off of their ego. They live off of that ego. That's why they bait you. It's an ego. It fuels their ego. It makes them feel powerful and in control. Okay. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. You know, don't be a part of toxicity. And don't cast your pearls before swines. Because they play dirty. And we know it. And so another thing that we can always do is put on the full armor of God. And use the sword of word. So speak the truth. You know, don't be afraid to expose them for what they're doing. Expose them for who they are. But always do it in an appropriate way, in a way that they know that you know exactly what they're doing. Like, let them know. Always let them know. So they don't think that they're trying that it's going to work. And if they take it too far with the baiting, it's very important that you document exactly what they're doing. Because harassment is not okay. And pray for them. Pray for them. But always know that it's the Spirit that's working through them. But pray for them that they get delivered. Yeah, they have a big ego. Uh-huh. So that's where I'm going to leave this video at. But I hope you guys really learned from this video. And the phrases, I'm not sure if you guys ever heard the phrases that I was talking about, but those are some of the phrases that they use. Yeah, don't hate your enemies. Hate the spirit. The sin. Hate the sin. Alright. You all have a good night and stay blessed. And don't forget to put the full armor of God. And know something. That when they're baiting you, here's another thing. Stand in your power. We are not to have the spirit of fear. So don't be fearful against their empty false accusations, their threats, their judgments, their criticism, them mocking you. Don't be fearful. Stand strong and be courageous and know that you have authority over demons. Yes. You have authority to trample over scorpions and snakes. So we have that authority with the Holy Spirit. So don't be in the spirit of fear. Be as strong as a lion. And don't be intimidated by them. They're the ones that fear you. That's why they attack you. But you are not to be fearful over them. They're weak vessels. You have a very strong vessel. So, that means know how powerful you are. Know how protected you are. Know that your angels, your guardian angels, your ancestors, and the Most High, which is he's the most powerful one of them all, is right beside you, is with you at all times. So when you fill yourself with the love of God, you cast away the spirit of fear, and you understand that not everything needs a reaction. Not everything needs your attention, your energy, and your time. So when these small little distractions come your way, just keep moving. Just keep moving forward. Don't pay no mind. You know what's going on. You know that you got a lot more on your plate to be entertaining little small distractions that come your way. You got to continue to build for the kingdom of God, the kingdom of light. So that means that we don't lower ourselves to their level of foolishness, to their level of ignorance, because they're messing with a chosen one, a child of God. Judge them, for they know not what they do. They think they look so cool with being in a group and being a part of something and gaining the worldly acceptance. But vengeance is the Lord's. And so we don't have time to get back at anyone. Let them dig their own pit and let them fall. Workers of iniquity shall be destroyed. So we don't need to be overly worried about the baits that come our way. And they come up against the Most High when they come up against you. You know, because you're a vessel for His kingdom. Alright. I'm gonna end it here. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your night. Continue to be yourselves. Continue to stay true to who you are. And continue to share that beautiful light with the world. Alright. Bye.